Hi friends, I welcome you all at Crack Grade B. In my first video, we have discussed economic and social issues mostly based upon gender issues in India. In this video, we will further discuss some more gender issues in India, and the format will be question and answer type. Because as we all know that in RBI Grade B exam, we are going to face some descriptive type of questions on social issues. So, what is our first question for today? India continues to struggle to provide its women with equal opportunity due to low labor force participation. We have to discuss the reason which are contributing towards the low labor force participation by the women in India. So there are some facts. According to the International Labour Organization report 2019, there are 1.3 billion women were work in 2008 as compared to 2 billion men. There are huge difference because against the 2 billion men, only 1.3 billion women are working. A less than 2% improvement in last 27 years. The conditions is not very favorable because we are able to achieve only 2% improvement. And the report highlighted that women are paid 20% lower than men as a global average. So this can also be the reason that the women are not fully participating in labor, and the women remain underrepresented at the top, a situation that has changed very little in last 30 years. Less than 1/3 of managers are women. So, if we talk about India, the female labor force participation rate FLFPR in India has been one of the lowest among the emerging economies. Then what does it show? We are the top 5, top 7 countries where the GDP growth is highest, but our female labor force participation rate is very low. Some more fact and some more data. The FLFPR in India fell down from 31.2% in 2012 to 23.3% in 2008. It should be increased, but it is decreasing. Further, if we talk about the rural areas, it is declined more by the 11% in 2018. So, in rural areas, not only are women withdrawing from labor forces, they are also being outcompeted by the men in existing jobs. So what is the repercussion of this situation? This situation necessitates a deeper understanding of issues that hinder female labor force participation. Moreover, a 2018 study has found that the care economy burden, it is a very important term. The care economy burden, we can say that most of the ladies and most of the girls are contributing towards the work which they are working at their home. So we can say that housewives are working unpaid work at their home. So the time spent on unpaid economic activities performed at the household and community level by women is one of the important determinants of the FLPR. Why? Because most of the women in India are housewives. They are working very hard at their home, but they are not paying for their contribution, what they are giving at their home. So this is the study, and this study talks about the care economy of the burden. Now, what are the reasons of this low female labor force participation rate in India. We will discuss these reasons one by one. The first reason is technological disruption. Women hold most of the administrative and data processing role that artificial intelligence and other technology threaten to usurp. I mean to say, most of the jobs in IT sector, in manufacturing sector are taken over by the artificial intelligence and other technology, and these technologies are outcompeting the women who are working in that organization. So we can say that the more technology is taking the jobs of the women who are working in any organization. Now, the second reason is gender bias. As we all know that most of the societies, just like if in a family they have a business of textile, I will show you in a different slides. Here, if a family have a business of textile, we can say that they have a business of garments shop. In most of the cases, this garment shop is handled by a man, not by the woman, because it is a social culture that the business will be handled by the man, not by the woman. So it is a gender bias. That's why the government, that's why the women are not coming into the business sector, especially in food processing, sericulture and garment industry. These industries are handled by their male counterpart as compared to the woman. So this is a gender bias. This is also contributing towards the low female participation rate. Digital divide, we can say that the women are using less internet as compared to the male. This study is done by the McKinsey Global Institute, and he said that the 67% internet users are male and their counterpart, the females, are only 33%. And if the value of the female will increase, then GDP could be increased by up to 60%. So this is the major difference between a man and woman. The second point is underreporting. Finally, the most of the work are done by the man are reported properly. But in case of the women, the work done by them are not reporting properly. So we can say that the contribution of the women in GDP are not showing, not contributing. Why? Because the underreporting. The proper reporting is not there for the work of the women. Now the lack of opportunities. Most of the ladies done their work as a caregiver at home. Sometimes many of the organizations, many of the corporations does not give the very important work, very important position to the women, because they know that they will give their input to the home also as a caregiver. That's why they are not able to fully give their potential at corporate level. So this is the reason that in most of the corporation, the government are the women are not getting opportunities. And the most important data is women education. The National Sample Survey from India has given in their data that there is a huge difference between the education of a man and a woman. According to a certain facts, work participation drops sharply for women with primary and secondary education. Only it rise with the college level education in case of the women. And the last point is that in most of the job, the women are eligible for white collar jobs and for the pink jobs. So this is the reason for the lower participation rate of the female in the labor. So I think we are able to answer the questions. In your question, you will put some important points from this content and your answer will be right in introduction and body and conclusion format. I will make a separate video to you. Then after seeing this video, you are able to answer the various types of questions in this format. I will make a separate video for this. Now, the second question is, what do you understand by the sex ratio, why it is important, and what are the causes of its decline in India? First, the definition of the sex ratio is the number of females per 1000 males. According to the SRS report 2018, the sex ratio at birth in India declined marginally from 906 in 2011 to 899 in 2018. And according to the UNFPA State of World Population 2020, estimated the sex ratio at the birth in India is 910, which is on the lower side of index. So what are the reasons? And what is the importance of sex ratio in India? First, this is cause for concern because this adverse ratio results in gross imbalance in the number of men and women and its inevitable impact on marriage system as well as other harms to the woman. So one by one we will see that what is the concern to India that the child sex ratio is declining in India. What is the concern and what will be the repercussion of this declining child sex ratio in India? The first, it will bring down country's reproductive potential by lowering net reproduction rate. Why? As the women's will comes down, then definitely it is going to harm the lowering the net reproductive rate. The second point is the rapidly declining sex ratio are turning into a demographic nightmare of frightening proportion. India is enjoying the demographic dividend at this position because the person between 15 to 59, between the age 15 to 59 are more in number. So this demographic dividend is a very big opportunity for India. But if the child sex ratio will go down, then it will also affect this demographic dividend. The low sex ratio at birth from the 70s have led to the large number of surplus men today in countries like India and China. If you go by the fact, then you are able to justify this statement that the number of men are coming more as compared to the women in these two countries, India and China. There are concerns that skewed sex ratio lead to more violence against men and women as well as human trafficking. As the men will come more in number as compared to women, then the violence against men and women will increase. You can think of that itself. Because if there will be no balance between a man and a woman, then it will definitely going to create violence against any of them, either man or woman, and as well as a human trafficking, because there will be less women in society, and wherever these women are required in society, how this gap you will fill. How this gap will be fulfilled? The person will take some unsocial elements like human trafficking. They will fill this gap by taking human trafficking. By doing this crime of human trafficking, they will fill this gap which was created due to the low sex ratio. In most of the Haryana and Punjab cases, you can see that they are marrying by taking girls from different states. Most of the movies, if you will see, there are most of the movies which was created by our Bollywood, that what is the repercussion of low sex ratio in India. Definitely, if the women will come, if the woman will lower in as compared to the man, then what will happen to the child rearing, housekeeping and other works, which remains a serious problem. If you think of this, then most of the women who are working in house, and it is a fact that women are more caregivers as compared to the men. So if the women will go down, their numbers will go down, then it is definitely going to affect the child rearing, housekeeping and other works. So it is the important of declining of child sex ratio in India. Now what are the causes? Female feticides, female infanticides, education. There is a huge gap between a man's and women's educations. If we say that in a forward society, in a metropolitan cities, in a very big cities, that sometimes due to lack of finance, there is a difference between the education of a boy and a girl. It is a today's fact. A boy is studying in a international level school, just like DPS, Mayur, International, and in girls category, girls are studying in a government school. So it is creating a huge difference between the education level of a boy and a girl. It is a today's fact. Poverty. Poverty is also one of the factors. In my previous video, I have told you that they are doing some unpaid work. They are not getting their part in the property of her father. They are not getting, they are not paying for their work. They are not getting their portion in their property. Then how the woman will survive? So this is the reason behind the poverty of the woman, and especially in rural India. Women are always sacrificing. If we talk about the states like Tamil Nadu and Kerala, you will see that poverty levels are very low as compared to the Bihar and other states and other northern states. As the gap of this poverty will be filled by the state, then definitely it is going to reduce the it is going to fill the gap of low sex ratio. So poverty is also a reason. Now the social status of a woman. In most part of the India, women are merely considered as an object. People are worried about the dowry issues with the girl of the child. If the girl will born, then the parents of this girl will think about the dowry and how they are going to marry their girl. And it is most of the families in rural areas, they prefer male child. The reason? this dowry. So these are all are the causes which are contributing towards the lower sex ratio. You can add more causes, and you can take some more causes from current also. So I have discussed with you these causes which are contributing towards the lower sex ratio, and more causes are lack of empowerment of women. If we see that since starting, if a girl is not getting proper health, nutrition, second it comes to the education, then can you think that these factors, if the girls is getting these factors in a very low quantity at the initial stage of their growth, then the woman empowerment will be possible? No. So we have to improve some health conditions and education system, especially for the women. After improving these conditions, we are able to empower the women. In male domination, I have already talk about this male domination at various stages in various organizations in administrative jobs. Infant and maternal mortality rate. Infant. What is the infant mortality rate? The number of death of babies before the age of the 1. Female and what about the maternal mortality rate? It also contributes to the declining sex ratio. If a baby girl is dying at the age of lesser than 1, then definitely it is going to reduce the child sex ratio in India. If a maternal mortality rate is also increasing, then it is also contributing to the declining sex ratio in India. Impact of the population policies. One child and two child policy. One child is adopted by the China, and two child policy is adopted by the India. So it is also putting some effect on the sex ratio. So these are some various factors which is contributing towards the sex ratio in India. Now the third question, what do you mean by the gender justice? Discuss various issues of gender discrimination and injustice in India. What is the meaning of this gender justice? It means equality among women and men, boys and girls across all sectors. So gender justice is important for development, poverty reduction, and crucial to achieve human progress. Social, economic and political environment, culture and education equality is important for gender justice. These preconditions need to be satisfied for achieving gender justice. So what is the reason and what is the cause behind the gender discrimination and injustice in India? The first is societal mindset. Men are very great as compared to the women. In each leadership position, leader should be a man, not the woman. So this is a social mindset. So it is the main cause behind the gender discrimination in India. Income gap. Discrimination against women has contributed a gender gap. Why? I have already told that Indian women on average earning 60% of what their male counterpart, 36% lesser as compared to their male counterpart. So this is the income gap also contributing towards this gender discrimination. Family pressure. Many women due to family pressure have to retreat from their workforce. Their family doesn't want. If they are giving birth to a child, then their husband and their family will not allow them to work. So this is the family pressure. There may be various reasons. Social security, safety may also be contribute towards the retreat from workforce by the women. So it is due to the family pressure. And moreover, companies are interested in hiring more number of young women because it has been generally seen that work and the family environment, marriage and maternity generally force a woman for resignations. And these also create some pressure on the women to retreat from their work. Another reason is pink collar job. Women are suited for the pink collar jobs. We consider it. But nowadays, most of the women are serving in the Indian Army, in Indian Air Force, in Indian Navy also. They are working in Seema Suraksha Bal. They are securing our borders. So this pink collar jobs scenario for the women are changing nowadays. Now, lack of political representation. If we talk about 2019, only 24.3% of seats filled by the women in our parliament. And in various department and organization, most of the organization and departments are headed by the men. If we talk about the states in India, the 11 heads of the states are women only. 11. Inequality in judiciary. Women constitute only abysmal 10% of the sectional strength of the apex score, 31. Only 10%, 3 or 4 are only women. In case of High Court, it is less than 20%. So inequality in judiciary system. Political inequalities, this measures the gap men and women political decision making at the highest level. India still lag behind it comes to the political representation in women in India. Educational discrimination we have already talked about. But if we go by the fact, literacy for women stand at 65.46% as compared to the 82.14% for their males. So they are also discriminated in education system also. So these are the various reasons for the gender discrimination and injustice in India. So it was all from my side, friends. I will come with the next questions. It may be on some more social issues like population and other factors. I will come up with a new video. So till then, happy learning. Thank you. पढ़ते रहिए, मेहनत करते रहिए.